Hello everyone, welcome back to your physics class. This is your physics teacher. I hope you all are well. In the previous video, I have explained the effects of force. Now in this video, you will learn about contact and non-contact forces, resultant force and the balanced and unbalanced forces. Force can be considered as an interaction between two bodies. Inter means in between or mutual and action means to act. So we can say that force is a mutual action of two bodies on each other. For example, when a door is being pulled by a person, the person applies a force on the door, as a result of which the door gets opened. So this is caused by an interaction between the two bodies, that means the person and the door. We have learned that a force acts on a body when it makes contact with that body. But for any force to act on a body, direct contact is not always required. The interaction may occur from a distance. So the forces can be of two types, contact forces and non-contact forces. Non-contact forces are also known as forces at a distance or action at a distance. So what are contact forces? The forces that results when the bodies are in contact with each other are called contact forces. Or we can say that the forces applied on a body through physical contact are called contact forces. The examples of contact forces are muscular forces, frictional forces, or simply when we pull a chair, push a table. All these cannot be done without any physical contact, that are known as contact forces. For example, lifting the glass, kicking the football with the feet, moving the desk with hands, pressing keys on the keyboard, and moving a chess piece, all are the examples of muscular forces. To understand force of friction, consider the motion of a rolling ball. A rolling ball slows down firstly and eventually it comes to halt. So why does it happen? Why it does not keep moving straight forward? The reason is the surface with which the ball is in contact exerts a force in the opposite direction to that of the motion of the ball. Means if the ball is moving in the right direction, then the surface exerts a force in the left direction, which is known as force of friction. And the non-contact forces are the kind of forces acting between two bodies that do not have any physical contact between them. And the interaction can occur from a distance. That's why these forces are also known as action at a distance. The examples of non-contact forces are magnetic force, gravitational force, and the electrostatic force. The force between two magnets or between a magnet and a magnetic material is called a magnetic force. Magnetic force can either be attractive or repulsive. As we know, a magnet have two poles, north pole and a south pole. So two similar poles of two different magnets will repel each other. That means north pole will repel the north pole and the south pole of one magnet will repel the south pole of the other magnet. Two opposite poles, when brought close to one another, they attract each other. That is, north pole will attract the south pole. The gravitational force is the force of attraction that pulls objects towards the surface of Earth. It plays a very important role in our life. The gravitational force of Earth allows us to walk on the surface of Earth, and this is the gravitational force that ensures that the objects on Earth always stays on the surface of Earth. The force acting between charged particles is called electrostatic force, and it can either be a force of attraction or a force of repulsion between the two charged particles. As you can see, the like charges will repel each other, means both negative charges and both positive charges will repel each other, while one negative and the one positive charge will attract each other. We know that any kind of motion is not possible unless we apply a force on a body to move it. So force is essential to produce motion. However, a force does not always produce motion. For example, in this picture, person A applies force on this box in this direction. Let this force be denoted by F1. But the force applied by the person A is not enough to move the box. So the box does not move. Therefore, another person B applies force on this box in the same direction. These arrows represents the direction of motion or the direction of force being applied on the box. And let us denote the force exerted by the person B on the box as F2. Now, the two forces are acting in the same direction. So, these two forces will add up and become a larger force. These two forces will give a net force or total force, or we can also say the resultant force F, that will be equal to the addition of these two forces F1 and F2. So the force will become larger. Now the box can be moved under the influence of this larger force. Now if in the above situation the forces were applied in the opposite direction, that means the person A is applying the force in the same direction, that is in this direction, and let us denote this force as F1, and the person B applies the force in the opposite direction, and let us denote that force by F2. Then what will happen? Whether the box will move or not. So the box may or may not move depending on the strength of the force from each side. Now the resultant force or the net force F in this case will be equal to F1 minus F2, because the two forces are acting in the opposite direction. So the resultant force will be the subtraction of these two forces. Now whether the box will move or not move, it depends upon the strength of force from each side. So three cases arises. First one is when the force F1 will be equal to F2. That means the force applied by person A will be equal to the force applied by person B. Then in that case, the resultant force F will be equal to F1 minus F1 or F2 minus F2, because the two forces are equal, so that will be equal to 0. So in that case the resultant force will be equal to 0, so the box will not move, it will remain at rest. Now the second case is when the force F1 is greater than F2, means the force applied by person A is greater than the force applied by person B. In that case, the resultant force will be greater than 0 and the box will move. It will move in the direction of force F1, that means in the direction of the force applied by the person A. For this, let us take an example. For example, if the force F1 is equal to 4 Newton and let the force F2, that is F2, it is equal to 2 Newton, then the resultant force in this case will be equal to F is equal to F1 minus F2, that will be equal to 4 Newton minus 2 Newton, that will be equal to 2 Newton. So the resultant force is 2 Newton and that acts in the direction of the force applied by the person A, that means in this direction. So the box will move in this direction. Now the third case that arises is when the force F1 is less than F2 or the force F2 is greater than F1. In that case, the resultant force will be less than 0. For example, if F1 is equal to 4 Newton and F2 is equal to 2 Newton, then in that case, the resultant force will be equal to F1 minus F2, means it will be equal to 2 Newton minus 4 Newton. So it will be equal to minus 2 Newton. So here the negative sign describes the direction of the force. It gives the direction of resultant force. So the box will move. In this situation, the box will move, but it will move in the opposite direction. That means in the direction of the force applied by the person B. So what is resultant force? When a number of forces of different strengths are acting on an object in different directions, then the net force acting on the body is called resultant force. And the forces can be added or subtracted to give resultant force. So when the forces are acting in the same direction, then the forces will add up, and when the forces are acting in the opposite direction, they will subtract. Next is balanced and unbalanced forces. So to understand balanced and unbalanced forces, let us take an example. For example, in the game of tug of war, the two teams apply force in the opposite directions. Now there will be no any motion on either side of the two teams when the force applied by the team 1 will be equal to the force applied by the team 2. That means when F1 will be equal to F2, in the opposite directions, there will be no any motion because these two forces will cancel out the effect of each other. So these type of forces are known as balanced forces. So what are balanced forces? Equal forces applied in the opposite directions which do not cause any change or any movement are called balanced forces. On the other hand, if whenever one of the forces exceeds the other, there is a greater pull enabling one team to win. That means when the force applied by either team is greater than the other team, then there will be motion. For example, if team 1 applies greater force than team 2, that means when F1 is greater than F2, then there will be a change in the motion or it causes movement on either side of the two teams. So these type of forces are known as unbalanced forces. So the unequal forces acting in the opposite direction that cause a change in motion or cause movement are called unbalanced forces. Also, the direction of application of force is very important because in various tasks it helps us to reduce the effort as well as it helps us in achieving the goals. For example, in the game of cricket, a batsman tries to hit the ball in a desired direction for getting a 4 or a 6. Similarly, to draw a bucket of water out of a well, we exert a force in the downward direction to move the bucket upwards. So this reduces the effort which we have to apply on the rope of the pulley. Here are some numericals based on the concept of resultant force. So the statement of first numerical is, two persons are applying forces of 100 Newton and 85 Newton on a box in opposite directions. Find the magnitude of the resultant force. So we have to find out the resultant force acting on this box. The force applied by the first person, let us say that is in this direction, that is of 100 Newton, and that of 85 Newton is in this direction. So force applied by first person is 100 Newton and force applied by second person is 85 Newton. So what will be the resultant force? The two forces are acting in the opposite directions. So the resultant force will be the subtraction of these two forces. That means it will be equal to 100 minus 85. We can also assume it as F1. This is equal to as F2. So the resultant force is equal to F1 minus F2. That is equal to 100 minus 85 Newton. It is equal to 15 Newton. So the box will start moving in the direction of 100 Newton force applied by the first person. Next one is, a force of 50 Newton is applied to a cart from both directions. What will be the resultant force on the cart and the state of motion of the cart? So they have said that a force of 50 Newton is applied to a cart from both the direction. That means from both the directions the force acting is same, 50 Newton from this side and 50 Newton from this side. It means these are equal and opposite forces, and we know that two equal and opposite forces cancel the effect of each other. So this represents a balanced force. The equal and opposite forces are acting on body or on the cart represents a balanced force, and the resultant force will be 0 because these two forces are equal which are acting in the opposite direction. So the resultant force will be equal to F1 minus F2. That means it will be equal to 50 Newton minus 50 Newton. So it is equal to 0. So the resultant force will be equal to 0 and there will be no motion produced in the cart and it will remain at rest. Next one is, two girls are applying forces of 30 Newton and 22 Newton in the same direction. Find the resultant force. Now two girls are applying. On which body they are applying, that is not mentioned. For example, let us consider that the girls are applying forces on the box which are of 30 Newton and 22 Newton in the same direction. So what will be the resultant force? These forces are acting in the same direction. So the resultant force will be the addition of these two forces, that will be equal to 30 plus 22. It is equal to 52 Newton.